Hi, I'm an industrial hygienist. My name is Jim McLaughlin, and I'd like to share with you something that I haven't seen covered on the news as much, and that is the possibility of the virus that causes COVID-19 possibly cross-contaminating to objects in your wallet, or for the ladies, things in their purse when they go out shopping. So for example, let's say you've gone through the shopping line at a store and you've seen a person ahead of you use their credit card to check out, and let's say they're asymptomatic but they're carrying the virus, and then you go through the same process and use your card, possibly picking up that virus and then having it now on your hands. And you already have seen, once it's on your hands, you touch your face, your eyes in particular, because of the tear ducts being the highways for the virus, or your nose or your mouth. This can now be into your system, and then you become a carrier, being asymptomatic and then symptomatic after about 4 or 5 days. So I want to show you this teaching aid that I use. It's called GlowGerm, and it basically teaches you antiseptic techniques. I like it because it's a little ointment that you can put on your hands or your wallet and other things to show how the virus can be transmitted from one source to another. In addition to this, you need a black light, UV source. So this is a UV light at about 400 nanometers or micrometers, excuse me, to use to be able to illuminate this ointment, which is sensitive to that wavelength of UV. So we'll come over to the sink, and we've come back from the store, and let's say you've gone through and now you're looking at your wallet, and you look and here's your ID. You can see that it has the GlowGerm on it, which would be your surrogate for the virus right here. You look at your credit card where you slipped it into the machine, the card reader, to read off your bill, and you can see that it's pretty generously all around it. And if you touched it and put it back in with your hands, now it's on your hands. As you can see here, as I mentioned, and you touch your face and it becomes problematic. So you look further at your wallet, and look, you've got contamination on your wallet, possibly the money that you have right here. And if you have a watch, a smartwatch, possibly contact with the watch, as you can see here. So it's all around, and you have it, and you come back. And of course, many of you know that once you come back, it's important to wash your hands vigorously. So I'm going to quickly do that right here. Wash my hands vigorously as best I can. So you talk about singing a happy birthday song and all these other things you want to get in between the joints. So I'm going to wash that. Of course, take off my watch as well. It's been contaminated. I'm going to put that over here for now and turn that off. I don't like to use cloth for drying. I use hand towels. I feel more comfortable doing that, and also reducing the possibility of cross-contaminating that use of the towel to another member of the family. So now that's done, and I use my light to see how well I've done here. And you can see I've done a reasonably good job cleaning my hands, but there's still some of this left in various areas on my fingers. Right here, here's some on the thumb, right here in the joint between my index finger and my thumb, some on the ends of my fingers, the fingernails, for example, and around the cuticle. So I haven't done as good a job as I'd wanted to do, but the GlowGerm really shows me areas that I missed. So going back to the wallet, you may want to do the same thing. You take out your card, for example, that you used, and for example, we'll take out the credit card right here. We'll use some soap on it. Wipe it down. Pretty good. Take a paper towel. Wipe it off. And hopefully, I've done a reasonably good job. And we'll turn on the light. And sure enough, it looks much better than before. And there's a little piece I missed right there, if you can see it kind of lighting up on the piece of the card. So that's something I have to go back, wipe it down, go back, and now if you see it's nicely cleaned up. So wouldn't it be great if we could do that with the virus? So with that done, one of the things is that if you're decontaminating your wallet, obviously you're not going to stick that in the sink, but you may want to use a hand sanitizer such as this and be able to spray it like this spray it down, and then wipe down your wallet and your cards as an option. Last but not least, I want to talk about the importance of wearing gloves when you go out. This is what I do when I go out in public. And I just take my gloves, slip them on like this. Get my big old fingers in here like this. Put those on, and then put the other glove on like this. These are nitrile gloves, but any glove along this line will do as a barrier when you go out. And so I have my gloves on now, and just as a demonstration, I'll take the glow germ, and as you can see is, I don't have much here yet, but I'm going to put some glow germ on. Smear that around like I was out in public, and let's say I have come in contact with the virus. And you can see it's now spread everywhere, especially between the joints. On this hand as well, especially between the joints. And then what I do is that, okay, now that I have it on here, but this is a barrier between the gloves and my hands. So many of you already know this technique of not touching your wrist, but peeling the glove back on one, like this, turn it inside out, take the other glove, 2 fingers inside, like this, and then coming down without touching the glove, pulling one glove inside of the other, such as, like this, without touching the outside of the glove, and then properly disposing of the gloves, my little biohazard area right there. And then, if I've done everything right, and I use my black light, and I look, and you can see the hands are not contaminated. The glow germ didn't pass through, meaning that in most instances the virus will not pass through and give you some level of protection. So with that said, I hope you find this demonstration to be of use. Again, a shout out to my fellow industrial hygienists. Our passion and purpose is to protect you in the workplace. Hopefully this public health moment will go even broader than that. Thank you very much for your time.